What's going on, everyone? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now, after starting 0-2 for the first time in over 20 years, there's some panic in New England. But how do you fix the Patriots? And the answer to me is pretty simple. You fire Bill Belichick. Now, I know that might sound like a really outlandish take, but just hear me out. Now, of course, one of the big things that have kind of spiraled this whole conversation is that Bill Belichick pretty much kicked Tom Brady out the door. That Bill did want to give Brady a contract, and because of that, Brady ended up going to Tampa Bay, ended up winning a Super Bowl, and he made the Patriots look really bad and really stupid. Now, ever since Tom Brady left, the Patriots' record is 25-28, and they're 25-29 if you count that Buffalo playoff game where they got absolutely annihilated. Now, I already know what's going to happen. The Patriots are going to beat the Jets this weekend, and they're going to, they might blow them out, they might win by 3 points, but they're going to beat the Jets this weekend because the hack Wilson isn't very good. But that doesn't change the fact that the direction of the team is just really heading down south. That it just feels like that Bill Belichick is either just waiting for him to get the record to pass Don Shula, or he just doesn't really care anymore. Now, one of the biggest fireable offenses, I would say, in my opinion, is putting Joe Judge and Matt Patricia in charge of your offense. Now, it might be bad enough just having Matt Patricia handle your defense if you look at that 2017 Super Bowl against the Eagles. But really putting a special teams coach and a defensive coordinator, neither of which have pretty much any offensive experience in charge of your offense, with a second-year quarterback who had a promising rookie season, is honestly just flat out stupid, and if anybody thought that it was going to work, you're crazy. Now, it just feels like to me that this is something bad teams would do. Like, the New York Jets. It's something that the Jets would do. Like, it's something like the Arizona Cardinals would do. It's something probably the Chicago Bears have done and probably might do in the future. But it's really just stupid and bad organizations that would do something like that. And it honestly comes down to the next thing is that he's failing Mac Jones. Now, I don't think Mac Jones is the best quarterback in the world. I think he has a chance to maybe be borderline top 10, or at best I would say an average quarterback, like a decent NFL starter. Mac Jones has had some pretty good moments throughout his young career. However, when you look at a lot of these other teams, like you look at how the Kansas City Chiefs, built a team around Patrick Mahomes before this season, of course. You had Tyreek Hill, you had Travis Kelce, you had two legit weapons around your young quarterback. Jalen Hurts had so much success last year, they drafted Devonta Smith, and then they went and get A.J. Brown, so they have two elite receivers to, pretty much help their young quarterback. You look at the Bengals and their stacked receiving core. You got T. Higgins, you got Jamar Chase. Joe Mixon's a very good running back as well, that they've surrounded Joe Burrow with a ton of talent. The Bills went out and traded for Stephon Diggs, who's pretty much transformed Josh Allen's career. That every one of these successful young quarterbacks has had kind of a ace receiver that the teams have went out and gotten that young quarterback support. And the Patriots haven't done any of that. Number one, maybe because they might not want to spend the money on it, and number two, they just haven't been able to draft any decent wide receivers probably since Deion Branch. And the thing with the Patriots is there just doesn't seem like there's any light at the end of the tunnel, that right now they're just mediocre. They're good enough to beat all the bad teams, but anytime they play a team that actually has a decent quarterback or a good team, they lose. The only two good teams they've really beaten these last couple years was Tennessee, when they were missing pretty much half their team, and then beating Buffalo in that tornado, which with both of those you could put an asterisk next to them. Now to me it just doesn't seem like there's really a ton of hope with this team. Oh cool, you can be able to beat, the Jets of the world, and you'll be able to beat, like the Oakland Raiders, but anytime you play like a good team like Kansas City or Buffalo or Cincinnati or Jacksonville, they can't compete. And I mean, still, in my opinion, I think Bill Belichick's probably the greatest coach of all time. I just think right now, over the age of 70, and the way the NFL's changed and how he's built this roster, I think as long as he's the coach of the New England Patriots, they're just destined for mediocrity. That really, the days of excellence in New England are over, I think, until they move on from Bill Belichick, that either they fire him, which honestly I think is very unlikely, or he sets the wins record, which right now is just kind of like he's inching to the finish line. That, are you going to be paying Bill Belichick $20 million a year to win 8 or 9 games and that's it? No, you would pay him because you want to win a Super Bowl. You would pay him because he's the person that puts you over the top over some of these other teams. And just how he's built the roster this season, they don't have a true number one wide receiver. Their offensive line is absolutely terrible. And it just feels like he's just given his young quarterback just a bunch of chicken poo to work with to try to make chicken salad when that's just not how it works. When I think Mac Jones is the type of player where I think he can excel if you have a lot of talent around him. But if he has to prop up and carry a team, he can't do that. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Josh Allen. He's not, one of those elite quarterbacks that can just prop up a franchise. That I think he can be a very good starting quarterback in this league if you give him enough talent, which I think is the biggest problem with the Patriots. And to me, the only way you really fix this is you get rid of the coach. So let me know in the comments below if you do agree with this, or if there's anything, you would do with the Patriots, maybe, like a different signing or different quarterback or whatever you think. Let me know in the comments below. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.